You've left conversations with certain people feeling motivated, convinced, even grateful, without being able to explain why. That feeling wasn't random, it was engineered. These people didn't work harder than everyone else in the room. They didn't have better data. They weren't louder or more aggressive. They were running a system. A precise, mostly invisible architecture of communication that shapes how people think, feel, and decide, without those people ever noticing it's happening. Most people experience social reality as something that happens to them. High performers experience it as something they build. You've been in rooms with these people your entire life. You've been influenced by them, hired by them, convinced by them. And until now, you had no idea how. The invisible problem. Here's what most people get wrong. They watch high performers and copy the surface, the confident posture, the calm voice, the deliberate pauses. But that's theater. That's the costume, not the character. What you're not seeing, what you've never been trained to see, is the internal framework running underneath every interaction. The precise psychological levers being pulled, often without a single conscious thought. The uncomfortable truth is this: most people are reactive. High performers are proactive. They've already decided what the interaction is for, what it needs to produce, and how it needs to end before a single word is spoken. You've been playing checkers in a chess match. The Power Framework. Principle 1. Framing before facts. High performers know that the frame around information is more powerful than the information itself. Before they present anything, a proposal, a critique, a request, they build the interpretive lens through which it will be received. A mediocre manager presents the problem and waits. A high performer opens with, "We're at a decision point." Suddenly, the room is leaning forward. Facts don't persuade, frames do. The person who sets the frame controls the conversation. Principle 2. Strategic silence. Average communicators fear silence. They fill it with noise. High performers weaponize it. There is a specific type of pause, not awkward, not hesitant, that lands like a period at the end of a sentence that everyone needed to hear. In negotiations, after stating a position, high performers go quiet. The first person to break that silence has typically already conceded something. Silence is only uncomfortable if you're the one who needs something. The person who can sit in it longest usually gets what they came for. Principle 3. Controlled vulnerability. There is a calibrated form of self-disclosure, a carefully chosen weakness that creates immediate trust and paradoxically increases perceived authority. A leader who opens a difficult meeting with, "I'll be honest, I didn't sleep well last night thinking about this," has just created more loyalty than any polished speech could. The person willing to be briefly vulnerable in a room full of armor is the most powerful person there. Principle 4. Question architecture. Ordinary questions seek information. Strategically designed questions direct attention, expose assumptions, and reframe the conversation, all while appearing completely innocent. What would need to be true for this to work? Sounds collaborative. It actually shifts the burden of proof. Principle 5. Outcome anchoring. Before entering a high-stakes interaction, the high performer has decided on the outcome. Not hoped for it, decided. Every sentence becomes a step toward it. This is why they seem unhurried. This is why they seem unrattled. Principle 6. Name recognition anchoring. Using someone's name, not excessively, but at precisely the right moments, engages the brain's attention systems at a deep level. It says, "I see you specifically." Not the role, not the title. You. Principle 7. The delayed acknowledgement. High performers do not immediately validate. They pause. They reflect visibly, and then they respond with what appears to be measured, considered engagement. Reactions are dismissed. Verdicts are respected. The person who pauses before they speak isn't processing slower. They're operating at a different altitude entirely. Real-world application. In the workplace, these tactics don't read as aggressive. They read as leadership. In social settings, people leave interactions feeling heard. The high performer often did more steering than listening. In close relationships, controlled vulnerability and the delayed acknowledgement create genuine connection, not transaction. Defensive intelligence angle. Now that you can see these tactics, you will begin to notice them, and that noticing is protection. When someone frames a situation before presenting facts, ask yourself, what is this frame designed to produce? When strategic silence is used on you, recognize the invitation. You don't have to accept it. Awareness is the only shield that works in every environment. Strategic summary. What you've just encountered is not a list of tricks. It is a map of how reality is constructed in real time, in rooms you've been in your whole life. The gap between high performers and everyone else is not talent. It is architecture. And architecture can be learned. Most people experience social reality as something that happens to them. High performers experience it as something they build. Sit with what you just heard. How many interactions in your life have been shaped by these principles without your awareness? The next layer isn't about technique. It's about something deeper. The internal psychology that makes these tactics available to someone in the first place. That's where we're going next.